There's a wild rumor out there surrounding the Bears quarterbacks. We're going to dive into that. Also, this Green Bay Packer called out this Chicago Bear ahead of Bears-Packers on Sunday. I give my take. And we got the updated injury reports for Thursday on both of these squads. So lots to dive into here on Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. And listen, I'm going to make a deal with you guys. Typically, for a noon game, we go live an hour and 15 minutes early, 10:45. Well, if we reach 108,000 subscribers before Sunday, let's say before 9 a.m. on Sunday, 2:33 away, not a crazy number, we'll go live at 10:30. We'll do a full hour and a half pregame show getting you ready for Bears-Packers. So let's make it happen. 108,000 subs before 9 o'clock on Sunday. Colin and I are going to rock with you guys for a full 90 minutes, and then, of course, throughout the entire game. All right, let's address this wild Bears rumor as let's kind of rewind a little bit first. The report earlier this week from Silvy, a.k.a. Marc Silverman, ESPN 1000, is that veteran players, I think he said a few veteran players, want Bagent to start. Players since then have completely dismissed that, from Cole Kmet to Tyler Scott to others. They have dismissed that report. I saw Shane Rorden of ESPN or of 670 The Score, also said he's heard from multiple sources that that's not true. I think Brad Biggs also shut down the report as well. So Silvy's kind of been on an island here, but he's had plenty of scoops before. And then this new rumor today is that Tyson Bagent's dad leaked that story to Silvy. So let's kind of set the scene here. This is from Reddit user Roll of Duct Tape. God, you got to love the internet. Since Bagent has been here, his dad has created unnecessary drama, leaking nonsense to ESPN radio personalities who are not journalists. He did it last year, same deal. Players wanted Bagent over Fields. Getsy wanted Bagent over Fields. Those were the two leaks from last year, and he's done it again this year. This time, Silvy was sloppy and unintentionally revealed his source was Bagent's dad. The day before his tweet, he said Bagent's dad had interesting things to say, but didn't share it immediately. Then he tweeted the news everyone blamed DJ Moore for. First of all, this is wild. Imagine if this is, or just the thought of this being true, the backup quarterback who is an undrafted free agent from last year, his dad, 2 years in a row, leaking stories to a media member to report on that Tyson Bagent is the preferred quarterback within the locker room. That's a pretty wild rumor and pretty on brand for how chaotic this team can get sometimes. He continues with this. He added a little edit at the end of the post. He says, edit. For all the arm wrestling sub guys, Bagent's dad's an arm wrestler, posting and asserting that this is speculation, you are correct. The source of the rumor pointing out that he spoke to Bagent's dad the day before the rumor is circumstantial. I have no proof, but I do find it odd that rumors are later proven false, have dropped for 2 straight years now, and the rumors tend to benefit one player, Bagent. Let me just say this, just kind of reacting to all this. I have no idea if this is fully true, partially true, not true at all. Not true at all would seem the most likely, but who knows? Maybe there's some small piece of truth to it. I don't know. Again, just a wild rumor. And listen, I will say some of these things that get leaked online, that they end up having some truth to them. A lot of them are complete bogus. We know that. I will say this, and Silvy about an hour ago addressed this on ESPN 1000. He strongly dismissed this. He said the source he uses, he would only go public with it unless he was 1,000% sure it was true. Now, could he have gotten burned? Who knows? He addressed the Bagent dad speculation directly. He said he ran into Tyson's dad before, I think, the last game, and they talked briefly, and the one thing he asked him was, hey, what do you think of Shane Waldron? And Bagent's dad said he loves him. And that was it. He said he's tried to get him on the show before. He did not want to, including last year. So he basically said he's had very little communication. And then he, on top of that, said, I would never use a player's parent as a source for a story I was reporting on. He pointed to his 26-year career, yada, yada, yada. I don't know. Players have denied it. Other reporters have said that the report that players have gone to upper management, Eberflus, etc., wanting Bagent to start isn't true. who knows what's true at this point. I think the point is that this team is reeling right now. It's chaotic times right now, and they need to get Caleb Williams on track, which is why they ultimately fired Shane Waldron, hoping that Thomas Brown could provide a spark. But man, it's one of the more wilder rumors I can remember, and I've covered some weird ones since I've started this YouTube channel. Do you believe this rumor at all? B for believe, D for don't. Doesn't have to be black or white. Like if you think it's partially true, type B. If you think there's nothing true about it, type D for don't. I don't really know what to believe, to be completely honest with you. I'm not going to stand up here and act like Silvy hasn't had a great career because he has. So I think a lot of things could happen. Maybe he got burned by a source. Maybe it was an anonymous source to him that had some connection to Bagent's dad. I don't know. But I do think it's getting weird right now, and I do think a good Caleb Williams performance, win or loss this week, would go a long way in just calming things down a little bit. All right, let's talk a little rivalry beef as DJ Moore was called out by Packers safety Xavier McKinney, who did not mince words when talking about the Bears wide receiver. We'll get to that here in just a few moments. But first, I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, Prize Picks. Do you want to turn $10 into $1,000 right now? You can do that with as few as 4 correct picks on a single entry with Prize Picks right now. Prize Picks has 10 million users and counting in North America, available in more than 30 states, where you can play daily fantasy sports all the time. Multiple lineups per day, crossover sports with your picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. They're going to give you a $50 bonus once you just play for $5. So it doesn't matter if you hit your first entry. As long as you play for $5, you'll get an additional $50. If you win your first entry, even better. But it's awesome. Prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS. If you're a new-time customer, you'll get that $50 bonus. A little entry I've got this week is this. DJ Moore. More on his receiving yards. Got to think he's going to be motivated here. Jordan Love, I took more for him to throw at least 1 interception. He's thrown 10 already this year despite missing a couple games, so he should give the Bears some opportunities here. Check it out today. Link is in the comments and in the description. Daily Fantasy made easy. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Code CLNS to get that $50 bonus once you play for just $5. All right, Xavier McKinney had this to say about DJ Moore. This dude walked out on his quarterback. I don't think I've ever seen that. You're supposed to be the guy, and you're just walking off the field. This is in reference to what happened a couple weeks ago. You're walking off the field on a rookie quarterback. DJ, Flus, they all came out and said he rolled his ankle on that play, and since he had already stepped out of bounds, he was ineligible anyway, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, it wasn't a great look, but I think there's some truth to what DJ's saying. But this is classic rivalry talk, right? Xavier McKinney stirring shit up, and now it's up to DJ Moore to go out there and put out a good performance. Because let's face it, he hasn't been that good this year. Now, I'm not saying it's all his fault. Him and Caleb certainly missed plenty of throws going his way. I don't think the Bears have necessarily used DJ Moore to the best of his abilities. They've mostly just tried to make him a pure X receiver, which I don't think he is that. He can line up as the X, but he's a guy you should move around. I just think it's up to DJ to just get this back on track. I still think DJ is a great player. I think he's a guy who's going to help this team for years to come, but there's been a disconnect with him and Caleb Williams. I thought he did the smart thing when he spoke to the media on Wednesday and put support behind Caleb. Whether he was forced to do that, I don't know. It seemed genuine, but there's been a disconnect here. And you got to get these guys on the same page because DJ's 27 years old, just signed a big contract. You just drafted Caleb Williams. Like, this is a core part of your offense. So having this stir and stew and continue to go in this direction is not good. So going out there and getting these two on the same page starting immediately this Sunday would be a very, very good thing. I'm going to set the over-under, more or less, Prize Pick style, at 75 yards for DJ Moore. Type O for over or U for under. How many yards will DJ Moore have this Sunday? All right, some tough news. Jaquan Brisker to IR, and the longer this has gone on, the more I thought he may not return this season, and I think that's basically where we're at. Now, technically, he could just miss the next 4 games and return, what would that be, week 15? It feels like his season is over. He's been in the concussion protocol for like 40 days now. He hasn't played since week 5. I just feel for the guy, man. He's had at least 3 concussions in the NFL. He had at least 1 at Penn State, and he can't clear the protocol. Like, is his career in jeopardy? I don't know. I mean, it's very concerning. I think the smart thing to do at this point is to just shut him down for the year, which I think this is kind of what they're doing. We'll see what Flus says on Friday. Man, talk about a blow, not just for the team, but obviously for him. I mean, this is a guy who was having a career year to start this year, eligible for an extension after this year, which he will not get at this point, which sucks for him and is unfair, but you can't extend him if you're the Bears right now. You don't know what his career looks like. He's got 1 year left in his rookie contract. I think you shut him down this year. Try to get him back next year. I hope he can stay healthy. The good news is Elijah Hicks has played pretty well, so you've got him under contract for a couple more years as well. But, man, just a bummer for him because I'm a big Kwani B fan, and I think they've missed his leadership on the field. Not just his play, but his leadership these last several weeks, which have been losses other than the Week 6 game that he missed. Elsewhere on the injury report, Karan Amagaji, Tevin Jenkins did not practice. The Jenkins one certainly notable. If he is out, I would imagine that Ryan Bates would start at left guard, Pryor at right guard. Assuming Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright both play, they're limited, so maybe that's a reach, assuming that. But seems like they're trending up. Montez Sweat returned to practice today, so that was good. Darrell Taylor's practice as well. He didn't play last week. Tarvarius Moore limited. He's in the concussion protocol. Noah Sewell limited with the knee injury as well. The Packers injury report, they got a lot of guys who did not practice today. I got to read this off my computer here. Jair Alexander limited, certainly one to watch at corner. Kenny Clark limited, that's a big one as well. Kingsley Enagbare, he practiced in full. Josh Jacobs limited with a quad. He's been limited the last 2 days. I would imagine he plays. Elton Jenkins, just a rest day today. We got Marshawn Lloyd, who's in his practice window to return. We'll see if he gets activated. He was limited. Jordan Love, full go. Jordan Morgan, limited. Josh Myers, limited. Rasheed Walker, 3 more offensive linemen, limited. Evan Williams, limited. And then Colby Wooden did not practice with a shoulder injury. So those are the injury updates. Our thoughts go out to Kwani B. Get the 9s going down in the comment section below for Jaquan Brisker. We hope he gets better sooner rather than later. All right, my name is Harrison Graham. Thanks to everybody for tuning in to this edition for Chicago Bears Now. We got more coverage between now and kickoff on Sunday, so hit that subscribe button and rock with us here on the channel.